My goodness, we need some cheering up, don't we, with the ongoing situation in Ukraine. I'm no doubt you have seen the front pages here this morning. They've all got very similar headlines and pictures. This picture really struck me when I saw it last night. Shocking images and videos of the conflict all over our televisions, all over social media feeds. And, you know, you can't keep your kids away from it. Should you keep your kids away from it? What kind of conversations have you had, Nadia?
Well, it's tricky, isn't it? It is tricky because they are... I mean, we turned off the television as Kiki came down the stairs the other day and she said, oh, it's OK, I've seen all the bombing, I've seen everything on TikTok. Wow. So it is out of our hands. I try and really stick with the positive stories. That's what I do. You know, I'll say things like, you know, this is bringing the rest of the world together. NATO is this power with lots of brilliant minds, and the country is the rest of the world is standing up to this bully. I talk to them about the incredible bravery that we're seeing. I was talking to them about it just makes me emotional when I think of the Russians out on the street so bravely going out, knowing what's going to happen, to demonstrate, and I talked to them about that. And there's been some incredible stuff shared on Twitter. I mean, there's a film, I think we've got it here. I was so moved by this morning on the way into it. Oh, that's not it. It's basically, there's a Russian soldier standing fully armed, and that there is a woman. We can only see her from behind. She looks sort of in her 50s, 60s, and she's saying to him, what are you doing here? How dare you? And look at the arms. How dare you come here and treat us like that? You've come here to shoot women and children. What are you doing? And then she says, put sunflower seeds in your pocket so the sunflowers grow when you die. And she's standing there with just herself.
Brave woman.
Wow. Incredibly brave, incredibly moving. So I just try and move them away from that. And I also try and say, you know, it's OK that you feel a bit anxious because it's an anxious time. You know?
I suppose it's being age-appropriate as well, isn't it? I mean, Kiki's 14.
Yeah, Maddie's 19.
Yeah,
get 19,
you know, my young's 15. Yeah. You've got younger.
So, my son's 12 and my daughter's 16. And, you know, for my son, he's... You know, you don't realise how much they know because my son, one of his best friends, his family's from Ukraine. Oh. So he's like, oh, my gosh, Mum, you know, Dee's from there. And I spoke to his mum last night and, you know, when you actually know somebody who has family there, and she was just saying to me, you know, certain places have been bombed, airports and bits and pieces, and she's just worried about getting in contact but trying to keep calm. Like you said, there's only so much you can filter from your children. This is someone who is very close with, he's grown up with, so he's comforting his friend, they're talking. And my daughter as well, she's very much like, what does this mean? What does this mean for the UK? And I was just saying to her, imagine if it was Jamaica or somewhere, we'd want people to help. We'd hope that people would come together, and this is what, you know, the UK and America and other countries are trying to do for Ukraine. So what I find is it's really hard to filter it. And in fact, my children are coming to me with videos and information. So I've just saying to them, you know, it's about, you know, everyone's got a different belief. You know, it's about, for me, you know, pray, keep calm, trying to manage the anxiety. If I'm calm, then they will calm.
It's so difficult, though, isn't it? Because, I mean, there's a deluge of information.
Yeah.
You know, you have to filter through the information. What is reliable? What is not reliable? Do you just say, well, look, I cannot control this, and therefore I'm not even going to look at it? And I think a lot of people will do that, Linda.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch the news and I don't read newspapers or anything, so I was sort of a bit oblivious to how serious it was, really. It was only when I got into work today and we were all talking in the meeting I realised how serious it was. And also talking to some of our young boys that work on the show, and that one of them in particular just said he was really anxious and couldn't sleep last night and hadn't eaten this morning, and it obviously is affecting everybody. Obviously, my grandchildren are too young to understand what's going on, but my son was trying to explain to me what's actually happening, and it's just...
But, I mean, with you, Linda, it was a positive choice for you some time back to come off social media because it was causing you anxiety. So that was a really sensible decision that you made. And, I mean, we're talking about how we deal with it with our children. I have a terrible tendency to absolutely immerse myself in it, you know, sitting up late at night, getting up early in the morning. You said you did that for a lot of the pandemic, Nadia, and you had to actually give yourself a break. And I think that is the professional advice, not ignoring it necessarily. But
That's what I would absolutely say. And talking to some of the young people here at work today, I've said, you know, because at the beginning of the pandemic, I was trying to deal with my anxiety by being plugged into every worst-case scenario. And then one day I said, what am I doing? I was going to sleep with the news in my ear. I was watching it non-stop. I like to be informed. I have to be informed. It's part of our job. But I eventually said to Mark, do you know what? I can't do this because I'm not functioning at all. And it's feeding my anxiety because it just goes on. And he was still wanting to be plugged in. I said, listen, I can't do this. I'm going to only watch the news at 10 o'clock at night. Yeah. We're going to have to find a way to make this work. And I think also, because a lot of people say to me, especially young people, oh, but people send me stuff. Well, you know what? You can put out a text to your friends and say, I'm not actually really coping very well with it at the moment. Yeah. Do you mind just not sending me anything? Because you can get bombed with it, can't you? Well, God, terrible use of the word. But you know what I mean? It's just out of nowhere, it's dropped on you.
And also,
then it's difficult to deal with.
Try and make a decision as to what you think the reliable sources of news are, because, you know, we're getting it come from all quarters and, you know, we're now in a world of misinformation and disinformation. There are reliable sources out there that you can say, OK, I'm going to watch that and I'm going to be informed, but I'm not going to allow myself to start just drowning in
going
stuff.
To every scenario.
The thing is, it's been taken really serious, and even for people who don't look at politics, I saw an Instagram tweet, an Instagram post the other day, and it said Russia and Ukraine like if they were in a relationship, you know, well, basically they broke
making
up.
it really user-friendly for people
for people
understand.
who don't understand. So it shows how much is out there, even if you're not in that area. And that's why, like you guys said, it's really important to put those boundaries in so you're not overwhelmed.
Well, the ITV News will be here with the latest updates on the situation right after us. So, you know, you can stay with us and stay informed at the same time.